I was walking, running, searching for truth, stumbling the whole way, the path continuously falling from my feet. My steps began to stray, and soon what little sturdy ground I had disappeared. I fell hard. Broken-hearted and despairing, I just laid there. All around me, bodies laid strewn across the ground. Others who had fallen and did not get back up. Those that were still alive screamed out words of discouragement, telling me there was no way to get back up, to get to the path leading to truth and love. Being broken in spirit and in body, I believed them. I felt my body begin to decay into the ground on which I lay. Tears and blood, sorrow and pain, the only nourishment I had. My hope fleeting, I began to give myself over to death. And then I saw him. Another began to stumble across this graveyard, continuously falling hard but jumping right back up. I watched this man as his body began to show signs of the falls, and his breathing became increasingly harder, but he did not give up. I pitied him at first, for I knew his hope was futile and there would soon be a fall that would overcome him. I was right. One final step caused him to plunge into the ground with such great force that I felt the effects ripple through my body. I heard his sobs, his crying out. And the little hope I had left. And then I saw something that startled me so. He began to crawl through the muck in broken bodies. Slowly he moved, but with such determination. But even his determination would not get him through this valley. I thought he would give up, that he would finally push himself into the grave. But with his final ounce of energy, with his very last broken breath, I heard him yell, cry out, scream passionately one word, one name. Jesus! And such love and his hope and despair and hurt all rolled into that one cry. And there he lied, this man I had come to love and to admire, who distracted me from my own fallen state, who caused me to want to hold on only if just to watch him. There he lied, and I began to weep for him. Amidst my tears, I saw a man walking across the desolate land. How he radiated, how beautiful he was. This glorious man walked straight to the one who had cried out. The glorious one bent down into the muck and death and picked up the broken man. He lifted him up in his arms and began to sing over him. He began to sing over him. Such an amazing song, a song that brought longing into my dark soul. I wanted this song sung over me, sing over me, sing over me. Being so distracted by the song that I didn't see at first the wondrous things it was doing. The man which I had come to admire began to stand, his face aglow, a reflection of the glorious one, his arms stretched out, and from his chapped lips arose a delightful sound. Laughter! Joy! In this dark valley, laughter, joy, a song that was part of the glorious one's song. This glorious one then took this man and held him in his arms, until slowly I saw the muscles in his arms and the color in his face regain as all his strength came back to him. My heart began to cry out. My voice was soon to follow. I wanted to be lifted up too. Lift me up too. The glorious one looked at me and began to sing, and I felt strength and passion coming into my body. He looked at me with such love. He looked at me. His eyes danced over me. He pointed to me. He and a man came to me. And then they both began to sing. And again I felt such strength and such passion. Again I felt it stirring inside. Oh, it increased and increased in my legs, and my arms began to push up from the ground as the man and the glorious one lifted me up. Their song increased, and the glorious one held me as the man prayed. All of a sudden I felt breath, for breath is the only way I can explain it. Fill me. Breath! Breath! Something sweet and pure just flowed inside of me. It flowed throughout my body, and soon my voice began to sing my own song, but a song still a part of the glorious one's. Love! Yes, oh how I love this glorious one! How I love him! There we searched in this land, finding all who would come with us, who were willing to be lifted up from this land's cave. And soon I found myself running along the path, chasing after the glorious one I loved. And every time I fell, every time I stumbled into his arms, where we would dance together. Oh, how I love this glorious one, this Jesus. I run with the man now, and the others that came out of the land in which I had almost died. We run together. We run after him. We chase the one I love, the one we love, the glorious one, Jesus.